Good afternoon, everyone, and welcome. Thank you for joining us for today's session on Personalized CX with Amazon Connect Customer. Today we'll show you what's possible for Canadian organizations that want to make customers feel known, reduce friction for agents, and lower the cost of fragmented service. When we talk about personalization, we don't mean just adding someone's first name to a greeting. We're talking about using the data, context, channels that already exist inside your organization to help customers get the right outcome faster, at the speed of light. You'll notice that we're using a space theme today. That's intentional. Customer experience is entering a new frontier with AI, automation, and personalization. But even as technology changes, the customer expectation is simple. Know who I am, understand my situation, and help me move forward. So with that, let's get started with our intergalactic customer journey. Before we get into the details, think about today's session as a short mission briefing. First, we'll take a look at customer experience gap and why personalization matters. Then we'll introduce the Amazon Connect customer platform. Finally, Dan will show a live journey of how it all comes together. Let's introduce our Serve7 crewmates today joining me. Today, I'm Frank Mirecki, CEO and co-founder of Serve7, and I'll be talking about why personalization has become such an important topic. Joining me today is Dan Perlman, our solution architect. Dan will lead the demo today and show how the experience comes together in Amazon Connect Customer. And in the control center is Vanja, our co-founder responsible for marketing, and Navjeet, a solution advisor. They'll help monitor the Q&A and answer questions during the session and follow up after the webinar where needed. Before we take off, just a few quick items to help everyone get the most out of today's session. First, please use the Q&A function in Zoom webinar throughout the session. If something comes to mind during the presentation or demo, just send it in. Second, we'll have a short Kahoot quiz during the session with prizes available. So we'll pop up the QR code, and now is time to get out your phones to sign in and win some prizes. Lastly, if you run into any Zoom issues today, please email info@serve7.ca and our team will be here to help. With that covered, our pre-flight checklist is complete. Let's start with why personalization matters. The research tells us 65% of customers expect companies to adapt to their changing needs and preferences. And that's not just asking for faster service, that's asking for more relevant service. It also shows us 73% of customers expect better personalization as technology advances. Customers know technology exists. They experience it every day in other parts of their lives. So when they get in touch with your organization, they expect to feel like you have the means to understand and resolve their issues. But here's the problem. 51% of customers say most companies do not use their personal data in ways that benefit them. So the data is there, orbiting around in case details, CRM records, account information, and previous conversations. But too often it's fragmented across systems and departments, which means it's not being used to serve your customers better. I'm sure you've had this happen to you. Start on a chat, move to voice, reach an agent, and you're asked to repeat yourself and your issue in detail. That's the personalization gap, the distance between what customers expect and what they actually experience. In addition to causing frustration for the customer, it increases handle time and costs and reduces first call resolution and creates pressure for the agents. The opportunity is to give your CX teams something closer to mission control. Unifying systems into one view of the customer journey and guide them to the next best action. Generic service is like asking the customer to navigate the mission themselves. That is why the numbers on this slide matter. 79% of customers expect consistent interactions across all departments. 56% say they often have to repeat or explain their information, and 55% say it feels like they're communicating with separate departments rather than one company. This is the cost of disconnected CX. So how do we start closing this gap? We believe it comes down to three things: personalize, be proactive, and unify the experience. First, personalize. This can start simply, but it should not stop at just greeting the customer by name. Real personalization means recognizing the customer, understanding why they may be reaching out, and using that context to guide the next step. Think about how valuable it is to know if you're meeting a new or existing customer, or if they're a VIP customer with extra perks and benefits. That changes the tone of the interaction right away. It tells the customer, we know who you are and we're ready to help. Second, be proactive. Agentic AI can help anticipate what the customer may need, guide the next step, and resolve common issues quickly. It can take action, like check a booking, update information, send status notifications, or connect the right agent with the context already attached. But it's not about replacing the human experience. It's about using tools to solve issues faster and empowering agents to deal with more meaningful and complex issues. Third, unify the experience. Customers do not think in channels, they think in outcomes. They might start in chat, move to voice, reply by SMS, and follow up by email. The experience should still feel like one conversation with one organization. The good news is that you do not need to build mission control from scratch. For a long time, delivering this type of connected and personalized customer experience required a large transformation project. You needed separate tools for all your systems. This is expensive, slow, and hard to maintain. But today you can start with one customer journey, prove value, and then expand. As an IT or CX leader, you're being asked to improve service and introduce AI responsibly, manage data and compliance, and still control costs, a truly astronomical undertaking. But the conversation goes from how do we replace the phone system to let's create personalized experiences on a platform that evolves with customer expectations in mind. Let's have a look at Amazon Connect Customer and why it's such a powerful platform for reaching the outer limits of personalized experience. The simplest way to think about Amazon Connect Customer is this. It's an AWS-based customer experience platform that brings together omni-channel engagement, customer data, AI, automation, analytics, and agents. You already have customers reaching out through their channel of choice, and you already have data spread across CRM systems, ticketing tools, knowledge bases, and other operational platforms. The challenge is that those systems often don't feel connected from the customer's point of view. Amazon Connect Customer helps close that gap. It gives organizations a way to recognize the customer, understand the context, guide the actual interaction, and determine when AI can resolve an issue and when a human should actually step in. For Canadian leaders, that matters for three reasons. First, it offers a practical path for modernizing the customer experience without having to stitch together a long list of disconnected point solutions. Second, because it's built on AWS, it can scale with actual usage, integrate with the broader AWS ecosystem, and provide enterprise-grade security and reliability needed to support larger AI strategies and initiatives. Third, it lets you start with journeys that matter most. You don't have to transform the entire contact center overnight. You can begin with one use case, one channel, or one journey and build from there. And most importantly, it's about enabling your agents with AI assistance. It's like having a super smart and capable virtual crewmate to help serve customers better. Agents can now focus on what's most valuable and complex scenarios quickly and efficiently. Amazon Connect Customer is not asking organizations to choose between a fully AI-led and a fully human experience. In most real customer journeys, the real answer is not one or the other. If the issue is sensitive, complex, or emotional, it's best left to a human. AI can collect information, validate identity, summarize issues, assist the agent, or complete the follow-up work. And many interactions sit somewhere in the middle. This is the spectrum you see in this slide. On the left side are fully AI experiences where AI can complete the tasks. On the other side, you have the fully human experiences. In between, you have deterministic controls, AI assistance, and guided workflows. You can choose where AI belongs and where the humans belong, and where the two should work together. Next up, we'll move to Dan for our demonstration. But before we lift off, we'll launch our first quiz. So get ready to key in your answers. Once the quiz completes, Dan will launch us on an intergalactic CX journey.
Well, thanks, Frank. I'm excited to show you today how effective use of AI is transforming the customer experience. Before we jump into a live demonstration, let's set the stage with what scenario we're about to solve. Now, this is Dan. Dan is a space traveler with Serve7 Space Agency whose connecting flight to Mars has just been delayed by 48 hours due to solar activity. Now stranded at the transit station, Dan is bracing for the worst, dreading long queues at a service desk and anticipating endless hold times just to try to fix his itinerary. Let's take a look at how an AI-driven agent can transform this headache into a genuinely pleasant and reassuring experience. Now, Dan's journey will unfold across 5 key stages: contextual recognition, conversational interaction, intelligence and knowledge retrieval, fulfillment, and finally, a human escalation. First up is contextual recognition. Before Dan even has the chance to panic about his flight delays, the platform takes the initiative. The system proactively reaches out to Dan via SMS the moment the flight operations database logs the delay. When Dan taps the link to chat, the AI assistant instantly carries over the exact context, identifying the flight disruption and anticipating Dan's needs. Next, we have conversational interaction. When Dan speaks, he doesn't have to listen to a menu of options or select specific departments. He can just talk like a human. The AI assistant understands natural conversational language and responds with human-like dialogue. Then comes intelligence and knowledge retrieval. If Dan asks a specific question, like what activities or dining options are available around the station during his delay, the AI assistant instantly queries the company's internal knowledge base to deliver tailored, real-time recommendations in seconds. Fourth, we look at fulfillment. The AI agent is fully integrated into Serve7 Space Agency's backend systems. It autonomously pauses the original Mars hotel reservation to save Dan money, checks local room availability, books a new suite, reserves local activity slots, and pushes digital boarding passes and itinerary changes straight to Dan's phone. But what happens when an automated interaction needs some human oversight? Well, at the end of our happy path, Dan throws a curveball. He's realized he's running out of an essential travel prescription. Real-time intent and sentiment analysis recognizes the high liability medical event and gracefully transfers to a live agent. So let's check in on Dan. Dan is waiting in the Lunar Station Transit Lounge when his phone buzzes with a text message. His flight has been delayed, and while reviewing his rebooking options, he decides to dial in and speak with the AI concierge.
Thank you for calling Serve7 Space Agency. Am I speaking with Dan?
Yes, this is Dan.
Hi, Dan. I see your connecting launch to Mars is delayed. I've already paused your original Mars hotel reservations, so you won't be charged for the missed night. Would you like me to book you into a luxury room at the Lunar Station Suites for your 48-hour stay and update your Mars flight itinerary?
Could you tell me more about the room?
Certainly. The Lunar Station Suites feature panoramic, floor-to-ceiling views of the lunar landscape, custom lighting, comfort controls, and premium bedding. I've sent an SMS with images of the room directly to your phone.
Oh, these look great. Yeah, I'll take that room, but while I'm stuck on the moon for a couple of days, are there any activities that I can do?
I can book you a spot on the Lunar Surface Rover Tour tomorrow at 1400 hours, and I've reserved a dinner table at the Crater Edge Bistro. Shall I finalize these bookings for you?
Yeah, that'd be perfect.
All set. I've updated your itinerary. I'm sending the updated digital boarding passes, hotel vouchers, and tour tickets straight to your mobile device right now.
Oh, you know what? I just realized if I'm going to be stuck on the moon for 2 extra days, I'm going to run out of my atmospheric medication. Is there anything I can do about that?
I see. This involves an urgent medical prescription. Our safety policy requires a certified specialist to authorize pharmacy vouchers. Because you have purchased our medical travel insurance policy, I can transfer you to our medical logistics team immediately. Hold on, Dan. We will get this sorted out for you.
Now, as this interaction encounters a medical event, the AI agent pulls in some help. The call routes instantly to Vanja, who's playing our live medical logistics agent. Vanja is using the Amazon Connect agent workspace, and if you're not familiar, let's take a quick tour. On the left, we have the contact control panel. This handles all real-time omni-channel interactions with call controls. For digital channels like messaging or email, agents can draft responses and choose from approved response templates. The middle pane dynamically surfaces the tools the agent needs most. Right now, it's displaying a dynamic step-by-step guide with conversational context. However, this canvas can adapt to display comprehensive customer profiles, active support cases, or third-party applications like CRMs. On the right is the Amazon Connect Assistant. The AI agent doesn't just disappear after a transfer. It remains an active listener through the conversation, continuously analyzing the context to instantly surface relevant internal policies, answer complex FAQs, or recommend guided workflows directly to the agent. Now, notice Vanja's screen right now. Instead of forcing Dan to repeat his name and story all over again, Amazon Connect has generated an instant conversational summary right inside of his workspace. Vanja, what are you seeing on your end?
Thanks, Dan. The summary card tells me exactly what's happened so far. Dan is facing a 48-hour flight delay. The AI assistant already handled his lodging and tours, but he's about to run out of his atmospheric medication. Because I have total context before I even speak, I can step right into the conversation. Hi Dan, sorry about the interruption to your travel plans. I can see we're already looked after your hotel and tour bookings, but it looks like you're running low on your atmospheric medication.
Yeah, I was gonna get a refill when I got to Mars, but since I'm stuck here for a few days, is there a way I can get an emergency refill on my medication?
I can certainly help you with that.
Now, this is where the true power of the unified agent workspace comes alive. To resolve a high liability medical override, Vanja doesn't have to dig through messy desktop tabs or old training manuals. On the right-hand side, the Amazon Connect Assistant has automatically surfaced the exact pharmacy voucher policy and the associated Amazon Connect step-by-step guide to solve this situation. Vanja, walk us through how this guides your workflow.
Sure. The step-by-step guide keeps it incredibly simple. All I need to do is collect Dan's original prescription number, input it to verify his details, and then I can submit the request. All of the other context and information has already retrieved from our customer systems. Hi Dan, to get an emergency voucher authorized at our station pharmacy, could you please read me the 6-digit prescription number on your original bottle?
Sure, it's DX4092.
Perfect. I'll type that in and click submit, and look at that. The guide instantly gives me a confirmation screen showing the voucher has been generated, and in the background, Amazon Connect automatically handles the heavy lifting, pushing the details and pickup instruction straight to Dan's mobile device. So Dan, that went through clearly. The emergency voucher and pickup instructions are on their way to your phone via SMS right now. It's fully covered under our flight delay policy.
Oh, thank you so much. That is such a massive weight off my shoulders.
I completely understand, Dan. I had atmospheric nausea last year when we visited Pluto, so I know exactly how you feel. We want to make sure that you're taken care of. Have a great day or night, depending on what side of the moon you're on.
Thank you. And just like that, a high-stress medical event is resolved cleanly, securely, and quickly. By combining autonomous AI with guided human-in-the-loop workflows, Serve7 Space Agency turns a travel nightmare into a masterclass in brand loyalty. Now that you've seen the experience in action, let's pull back the curtain and look at the architecture that makes this possible. Everything starts with the available channels of communication. Whether a customer is contacting you via a traditional inbound voice call, or you're contacting them outbound via SMS, or engaging across social media, the experience remains unified. No matter which channel they choose, these communications are orchestrated using Amazon Connect contact flows, or customer journeys. This is where we define the foundational logic and handle the initial routing. These interactions are enhanced with an Amazon Connect AI agent. This represents the intelligent frontline voice or chat assistant that actively listens, understands intent, and speaks naturally with the user. Behind the scenes of the AI agent are powerful AI models powered by Amazon Bedrock, such as Novasonic, as well as other industry-leading foundational models like Claude. These models give the agent its reasoning capabilities and high-speed speech fluency. To ensure this intelligence remains safe and reliable, we layer system prompts and automated guardrails on top of these models. The prompts are a set of instructions to align the AI's behavior to your business logic, while the guardrails act as real-time filters, preventing toxic language, protecting sensitive customer data, and ensuring the agent never goes off script. This means we get all of the flexibility of generative AI, but with the deterministic safety controls that an enterprise brand demands. Of course, an AI agent is only as smart as the data it can access. During the interaction, the AI agent frequently needs to safely access a backend system, such as a CRM to fetch user history or a payment gateway to handle transactions. To connect these disparate systems together, we use a centralized gateway, such as AWS Agent Core. Amazon Connect natively integrates with Agent Core, creating a secure, direct pipeline where the AI agent can safely request and process backend data on demand. Within Agent Core, you can create a centralized library of tools that integrate directly with your backend enterprise applications. The AI agent can look at this toolkit and intelligently select the CRM tool to pull a profile or grab the scheduling tool to update an appointment. A huge business value here is that Agent Core serves as a common shared gateway for all your company's AI applications. Instead of manually building custom integrations and tool sets for your voice bot, another set for your web chat bot, and a third for your internal employee tools, you build them once in Agent Core. Any AI application in your ecosystem can tap into this single gateway to securely access your data. By pairing the natural conversational capabilities of Bedrock with the orchestration power of Amazon Connect and AWS Agent Core, we've built a platform that isn't just a smart bot, but a fully integrated enterprise worker. With that, we've seen how Amazon Connect Customer can create personalized, proactive, and unified experiences across all channels and departments. Let's get back to Frank, and he's going to show us easy ways to get started on this platform.
Thanks, Dan and Vanja, for that great demonstration. The best path forward depends on where you are in your own CX journey. If you're actively exploring Amazon Connect Customer, we can provide you with a no-obligation quote for your unique requirements. If you're earlier in your CX trajectory, I would recommend a lighter option, a CX Personalization Opportunity Review. This is a short working session where we'll help identify 1 or 2 customer journeys where personalization, automation, and better channel integration can make a measurable difference. And of course, follow Serve7 on LinkedIn. We'll continue to share CX updates, practical examples, and ideas for Canadian organizations looking to modernize their customer experience on AWS. The main point is this: you do not need to have the whole roadmap figured out. A good first step is to identify one journey and get started today. Now, before we close, thank you again for joining us today. We know your time is valuable, so we appreciate you spending part of your day with us exploring what personalized CX can do and look like with Amazon Connect Customer. We have one final request. We're going to launch the feedback survey now and pause for a minute. Use this time to do 2 things. First, complete the short feedback survey. Your feedback helps us understand what's useful, what we can improve, and what topics we should cover in the future next time. Second, submit any final questions in the Q&A box. And, of course, all the prize winners from today will receive an email within 2 hours with details around their prize, and we really appreciate you taking the time to complete that survey now before you actually end the session. Thanks again for joining us today.
Thanks, everybody.